Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. Thank you. Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
I'm doing fantastic, and I can't wait to see what questions our audience is going to throw out at Patrick tonight. How are you, Scott?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm wearing the blue. I'm happy. By the way, here's your latest Bitcoin update. That's called a monstrous sell-off in something that with a $700 billion market cap. I want you to consider how much money is just going right now because it's taken out the world. But here at the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market, bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo, it's no longer acceptable. Time for technological revolution. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you. And we also have a very special treat for you. We have Patrick, CEO of Jackal Labs. Patrick, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Scott. How are we?
Oh, I'm fantastic, man. I'm looking at Bitcoin. It seems like my eyes are going side to side right now. It's because I'm looking at this, trying to focus and watching just money go away. There's something intoxicating about it, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's a never dull moment in this space, is it?
It's the velocity of money thing. As long as money's moving, we're looking for the price of something. So now, I personally thought Bitcoin was, I'm kind of on the fence about it. We know what's going to happen. I absolutely believe the ETF is going to happen. We're going to see it early part of the year, and it's gonna boom. It's not going to boom because suddenly ETF money is coming in, but because money from all over crypto that has been sitting as dry powder are just going to pile into Bitcoin. Man, this is going to happen. We saw it. We saw it with one incorrect tweet. We saw what was going to happen. So, using that knowledge, I like to think anybody else that had a little bit of loose cash might have put it into Bitcoin because it does seem like it's going to go. But this is still crypto, and we don't know. We don't know. I know the technical analysis oracles are going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Nobody knows. If we knew, then Bitcoin wouldn't be doing this. If we knew for a fact what was going to happen, this would not be happening to Bitcoin right now. And Patrick, my logic is sound, absolutely sound. So we don't know, but we have a decent idea. We've at least seen it in practice, even for a brief amount of time. So yeah, it's kind of interesting going on this ride right now. Now this is shellacking the world, by the way. That's everything across the cosmos is down almost 20%, including including my personal favorite, including Jackal and all the current flavors of the month. Tia just got wrecked, and Cash is not wrecked. It's over the last 24 hours, it's not happy. Let's just put it right there. But everything else is sitting up. You're talking about 100% up on every Jackal Jackal over the last 30 days is up 96%. So you can't complain about that. I'll take the short-term variance. I don't sweat that. Problem is that crypto is a very emotional space, and it runs on sentiment. So as soon as sentiment goes south, as soon as you see something like that coming out of Bitcoin, sentiment goes south, everybody kind of cuts and runs, except for the people who are incapable of making a decision. And they just got to eat it all the way down, man. It sucks. It kind of is what it is. But with that, Zephyr, guys, still doing good. There's no reason it should be doing good. The neat thing about Ponzi's, what's really, really neat is if you're in them early. If you're in them very, very early, it has a tendency to work out very, very well for you. But it's like two gunslingers just staring at each other. These are the people with bags and the people who are considering buying them. And they're just staring at each other, waiting for the look, the twitch. Slowly I turn, step by step, inch by inch. They're waiting to say, do I buy, and are they going to dump on me? Now that's this token. That's what it is. I'm sorry, man. The only thing that holds it up right now is faith, mysticism, and thinking that you cracked the code on the whole Looney UST thing, which is funny to me because we already saw how that played out. It is absolutely foolproof. It's invulnerable. What happened could never, ever happen. And then it did. and then it just blew up the entire crypto world. So am I anxious to pile into something like that afterwards? We've already saw how this worked, and that would be a no for me. But again, the funny thing about Ponzi's is that if you get in there very, very early, you're at the top of the pyramid, and everybody who comes after is just basically giving you money. So if you're going to make the move, make the move. It's not something that I'm touching. Stay way the hell away from it. I have no interest in that. Crypto's tough enough without projects like this, but I understand that it's the flavor of the week. Tokens up 1,600% over the last 30 days or something like that, which is completely normal. That's what you expect out of crypto projects is 1,600. That's just normal. That's why we get into crypto, right? For the excitement to watch them all boom up 1,600% in 30 days. Seems perfectly normal, rational, objective to me. So if that's your cup of tea, you guys go ahead and go for it. That is, believe it or not, guys, that is my entire monologue. Keeping it short tonight. We got guests. Bell, we have guests. So it's I kind of like to kick it off. Patrick, you're big screen now, brother. It's all you.
All right.
Tell me about the SIM swap. Go.
Yeah. So I was at a conference last Tuesday, and it was a tech conference. I was doing my duties of the co-founder of the Jackal protocol and trying to get as many integrations as possible and chatting up all kinds of different interesting verticals, whether it be dev shops, whether it be different applications like no code, low code type backend solutions, things along those lines. Anyways, at the event, I looked down on my phone and my phone says SOS on it, which is usually not a pretty good thing to see when you're looking at your phone. So I didn't clue in for the first 5 minutes. Then I looked back down at my phone. I was like, I think I'm being SIM swapped right now. So I sprinted as fast as I could to the strip mall, which had a cell phone booth in it, where they would have it's kind of like those booths where you kind of go and you deal with your phone carrier, things like that. And there's someone working there. The funny thing is when I got there and there was a line, and I said, hey, I think I'm being SIM swapped right now. So he let me butt the line. He gave me a new SIM card. I got back into my phone. And after that, it was already too late. I was locked out of my social media accounts. He didn't go for my bank account. He didn't go for centralized exchanges, nothing like that. He primarily went for the Jackal Twitter account, believe it or not. And it kind of makes sense. And I believe it was also, well, we've been talking with the guys at Yumi, guys at Barachain. We haven't spoken with the guys at Babylon yet, but it was the same person that exploited the three of us, actually, which is pretty scary stuff to see in the space. And at the end of the day, I think we had two. I still can't get back into the account. So there was two forms of authentication. I think one was an authenticator app. One was my phone. I thought it was a and function, but it was kind of an or function. So that was kind of it's a curveball for us. And it's been 7 days trying to deal with Twitter support, and it's very, very difficult. But luckily, we were able to get in through a session that we had, so we can tweet, but we can't kick anyone out. But at this point now, we can tweet. He can tweet. He also has the ability to delete tweets, and then no one can actually access the account fully and get full access to it, which is interesting. Because I have the phone, email, and some other forms of authentication, and he has the 2FA that he set up, and he has his side of things going on. So it's been a long week for us over at Jackal Labs, and it's been. I hope everyone's enjoying the show over at our Twitter account. But at the end of the day, we're just continuing to focus on building. We're continuing to focus on delivering new applications and shipping our upgrades and doing all that good stuff.
All right, and we'll get into those. You keep looking to your left as you're telling this story. Is that where your abductor is holding the cue cards and you're reading off them? Is that what's happening right now? That wasn't me that brought that up, by the way. That was Joe that brought that up.
Yeah, that was Cosmos Joe.
Looking to the left, I'm kind of just sitting there. So I'm on a swirly chair, so I can look to the right if you'd like as well.
No, Joe, I don't care where you look, man. It's good. I'm just the this is what the audience is giving us, man. They're like, he said, blink. He said, blink twice if you're getting enough fluids. So
yeah, no, I'm trying to think back to the story. The one funny thing that did happen during that whole ordeal is when I got to the Rogers guy, and he saw me all frantic, and he noticed that I started complaining about the Twitter account. He said, "Do you work in blockchain or NFTs or Web3?" And I said, "Yeah, I do work in blockchain, NFTs, and Web3." He's like, "Yeah, we get this all the time," which is just great. So
How about this? How about this?
uh,
I'll ask an interviewer and an investor question. How are you going to avoid this in the future?
yeah, for us at this point, it's removing the phone. If you have a Twitter account, I would remove the phone 2FA option, because by default, Twitter sets that up. So you have to go in there and manually take off the phone as a 2FA. So that is what it is. For us, it's just removing that. The blockchain just keeps on running, so nothing's really exploited from the protocol level. Wallets are safe, all that good stuff. Bank accounts are safe. Everything was safe other than the actual social media account, which is a detriment to, it's dangerous for us, it's dangerous for the community. So for us to make sure that we don't have that happen again, really it's just having a better cybersecurity posture and acknowledging the fact that we had phone 2FA enabled, and we can't have that in this space. So that's on us.
Excellent. Well, good. There you go, guys. Look, we got closure. All right, it happened. I saw he put one out yesterday of you doing blow off from like a kitchen counter.
Yeah. Yeah, that was special, wasn't it? It was never a dull moment, right? There's a few other ones which were pretty interesting. Yeah, yeah. When you start getting into sending people racial slurs over DM, it gets pretty intense. So
you know, and there, look, it's a kid. All right, he did it. He horsed around. It didn't
yeah,
cost you any money. He didn't do any of that stuff. But you know, at least be clever about it. That's the thing. Just posting obnoxious stuff, that's not clever. All right, that's very, very juvenile. Be clever about it. I'll tell you, I would have went a different way. I'm just saying, man. I'd have you.
Yeah.
I would have gotten with some graphic artists and created a video with Patrick's head floating around dancing to a most obnoxious song possible, and I would have posted that to the account.
Yeah, we should go around. We should go put in the comment section what you would post on my account. This would be a great exercise.
You know what? You know what's funny is that the guy who did it is at least aware that you're on a live stream tonight, and it kind of makes me wonder if he's watching. And this would be
Probably
a neat
is.
test. If you guys have a really good Patrick meme or something like that that should be posted to that Jackal account, put it in the comments and let's see if it shows up. All right, this is a social experiment. All right, we're all about community here. All right, we're the ESPN of Cosmos reporting.
Yeah.
We're all about community. Let's run this experiment. If you guys got something good, something funny, put it in there, and let's get it out. So
Next thing you know, there's going to be video of Patrick's head floating around, Rick rolling everybody.
Yeah, well, the one thing is yeah, he's profiling pretty young. If I was to make a bet, I think he's pretty young. I don't know how good his OPSEC is, so he's gonna find out, I guess, about that. But it's either he's in the Baltics and he was smart and he used someone else over a dark market to SIM swap me, or he's gonna get got. So we're gonna find out.
This is kind of what you do, is sort out things exactly like this, right? And you're put, this is the guy, this is the who, what, when, where, why, and how. This is kind of what you do, isn't it? You can smile. We all know. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah. I used to work in intelligence, so I did a lot of work in the private sector for lawyers and tracking cyber criminals. And yeah, Marston used to work in that. That's how we met, and that's how we started building together, because we wanted to build an e-discovery tool for court. Originally was the idea, and then one thing leads to another, and then we got red pilled into the blockchain sphere, and now we're delivering a wonderful active cloud environment to everyone. So
yeah, you are, but somebody out there, they swap the wrong guy, man. I mean, that's it. We all know how this is going to work out, man. And honestly, when you break it, when you find it, let me break the story. Come on, dude. You know what? I've been supporting you guys for a long time. I want to put it out.
I'll let you know. Well, if he's lucky, he's either in Russia or in the Baltic region. So let's hope that's where he is.
If it's Russia, that's bad, because we have contacts out there, some people that we're working with from Dissenter, and these guys, man, those guys are hard. All right. You don't want to play around over there. But, hey, we got a guy, all right? We got a guy in Croatia and Russia. So we pretty much got Asia taken care of, man. It's going to be good. All right. So with that, Patrick, we were talking up just a little bit pregame here. What's next for Jackal? And the reason that I'm asking is because Stratus is out. All right, Stratus is done. That was the biggie. Stratus is out. It's available. Anybody can use this right now. Simple line of code, plug it in, bang, you're using Jackal storage. And you guys were really, really pushing on that one. And now it's done. So my question is, what's next for Jackal?
Yeah. It's a double pronged approach here. So on the BD and integrations front, it's full steam ahead on primarily focusing on Stratus and getting that in the hands as many application builders and as many kind of people that are working in data centers or their dev shops, and they're looking for the killer app in the Web2 space for Jackal isn't as much the security and privacy, it's more on the redundancy that we've noticed from what we've heard, at least from interviews and feedback. So our big focus is getting that into as many unique hands as possible for them to access really affordable and cryptographically verified redundancy that's multi-region, no egress, no ingress, and all that good stuff. So that's pretty exciting for us on that front. So we're reaching out to all kinds of things from there's science applications. We're back on CCTV footage again, where we're starting to speak with we're looking to speak with people that are in the self-storage space and kind of like those big storage centers with all the CCTV footage that they have to hold. That's kind of where we're focused right now, is just trying to find unique applications. Obviously, big data, AI training data sets, data scraping, things along those lines. So that's one of the big things that we're focusing on the BD and sales front. The beauty of that is every time someone purchases storage on the API, that buys storage from the protocol. So that's pretty fascinating in its own right. And it's just great to have that new functionality to kind of bridge the gap between Web3 and Web2. The next thing that we're focusing on from the protocol level, so there's two things really. One thing is the version 4 upgrade, which is pretty great. We have some awesome charts that are going around the Discord where we have a lot of scalability bonuses is the major thing with that. Other things is the new econ model versioning. So we're kind of doing the second draft of that right now, and we're going to put that back in the forums hopefully by the end of the week, and then get that to chain as soon as possible so we can start blitzing and getting into a sprint for getting the V4 upgrade to market. That's on the development front. And then on the BD front in Web3, we're having a little bit of a narrative change a little bit that we are focusing on. And why did let's take a step back and we started to think about why we wanted to build in the Cosmos ecosystem and why we like modular blockchains and modular nature, and why we like the IBC protocol and all the wonderful things that comes with that, whether it be account abstraction or things along those lines, right? When you look at the space, Jackal should focus on building the best storage application possible in the blockchain space. And instead of trying to entice builders to come build on Jackal, we think it's our job to leverage IBC to deliver storage capability to every L1. This is fascinating because using IBC and interchain accounts, every generic smart contract blockchain, whether that's you can go Juno, Archway, Agoric, Neutron, Secret Network, pretty much any of them. And then we can start to go outside the Cosmos space through general message passing to things like ETH2s or EVM blockchains. The great thing about this is if we build outposts on these chains, that means that every single developer and every single user on every single blockchain now has access to Jackal's data storage and data storage capabilities for unlocking all kinds of really unique verticals, which is really exciting. I get excited just thinking about it, whether that's decentralized science, whether that's peer-to-peer file transfers, whether that's backups, whether that's ransomware resistance, data marketplaces, web scale applications in general, AI, ML, training data sets, just storing foundational models. We unlock a very different vertical for blockchain technology outside of finance and using it as a backend for other things. So that's kind of our focus. And we think delivering this type of functionality through IBC to every blockchain that isn't built for storage, no blockchain will ever really be built for storage like Jackal is. So bringing it to them we think is the best use of our time. And other thing associated with that is we think that's just how IBC wins in general. That's why the modular blockchain thesis wins, and that's why Jackal wins, in my opinion.
Well, that is fantastic, sir. And I'm looking over there. I see that we are just stacked up with questions. So
let's get into it.
Oh, we will, man. We got time. Don't you worry about it, brother. We got time. So I usually have my guests talk about our sponsors because no legitimate blockchain project would ever sponsor this channel. It's simply not going to happen. So we have to go out and scour the earth for new blockchain or for new sponsors, because I got to pay Bell, and that's how we pay Bell. So I sent you a live read, Patrick. Is this something you'd be willing to read, or is that going to muddy up your reputation too much? Because if that's the case, I'll go ahead and take it.
I can read it for you, Scott. I've been awake for a lot of days so far with this whole SIM swap situation, but I can try my best. And worst case scenario, it's wonderful entertainment for your community.
It certainly is, man, because blockchain is, if blockchain is anything, it's certainly not fun. So we try to bring that to it. All right. So folks, with that, I give you Patrick, the CEO of Jackal Labs, telling you about our newest channel sponsor. Patrick, if you could, sir, take it away.
All right, Marshmallow Launcher Extreme. Ladies and gentlemen, podcasters, we've got a treat for you. Tom has been disturbed lately. Sales are down, and it's certainly fire sale time. And what better product to offer for fire sale than the brand new Flaming Marshmallow Launcher Extreme? Marshmallow launchers have been around for a long time. We know this, but none have ever added Tom's special 11 herbs and spices to the recipe until just now. Utilizing Mini Raptor engine from Tom's jet-powered pogo sticks, we are on the when the trigger is pulled on this puppy, the engine lights up. 2-pound ball of flaming marshmallows will be propelled outwards at the speed of over 550 feet per second. Wow, that's fast. Now, don't be concerned about the weight, folks. This is not a cannonball, even though they are similar. They are of similar weight. It's just a marshmallow, and nobody's ever hurt anybody with a marshmallow. What am I reading, Scott?
Keep reading. You got to get through it, dude, or we don't get paid.
And although the flaming controversy of marshmallow is eerily similar to napalm, it's not. It's just marshmallow. So lighten up. It's not crazy, but Tom's crazy about sales. So if you call our operators now and mention the podcast coupon code, hit me, ya big silly ass. Wonderful. You will receive 50% off your order, as well as 3 marshmallow recharge kits, so you can really keep the fun going. Act now. Kids do silly things sometimes. Might as well give them safe tools to do those things with. And we'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just got a text. 2 of you have now ordered the Marshmallow Launcher Extreme. Have fun with this, guys. And again, safety glasses are not provided, but they sure are recommended. Use safely. That's all I can say. All right, Belle, I'm all done with this interview. It's between you. It's between Patrick. Take it away. Dazzle us.
Oh, there was actually one question you asked me earlier to remind you to ask Patrick. So, yeah, Patrick, are you guys partnered with Flix? And if not, why not?
Omniflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're working with Omniflix. We're working on integrations right now. It's been going back and forth to just try to figure out the path of least resistance, actually. So we were looking at API integration. We're looking at on-chain integration. It's just a matter of time with them.
And the reason I bring that up is because we're talking videos, dude. All right, we're talking about large videos. We're talking about unique terabytes. We're talking about all those things that make me want to continue or even more aggressively invest with Jackal. And yeah, you land that one, dude. That's you land that one, and you guys just built DeFi YouTube, man. Just like that. Round of applause for visionaries. Belle, please carry on.
All right. And I did pull this one up to the top of the list because it leads into the second one. So, Bud asking, what does Patrick think of Jackal tokenomics? Is the inflation too high or is it needed to incentivize validators?
Ooh.
That's a good question. I don't see as in inflation. Inflation gets mixed up with income quite a bit. Obviously, validators make money based on commission of token emissions, but really that is really determined by the actual price of the token that determines their earnings, right? It's not necessarily the inflation itself. Where do I stand? I stand a little bit more in the middle. I know there's some people on both sides where it's a little bit more intense, where people say we want to increase inflation, some people want to decrease inflation. It's a little bit difficult for us to ride the middle. But also we want to do the thing that's best for the protocol and make it running with just functioning unit economics is a big thing, and make sure that it's actually sustainable is really important. Um, from my standpoint, I'm a little bit more closer and I focus more on the decreasing of inflation side of things. I think that's the better play. But at the end of the day, it's up to the community, right? It's we make suggestions, we write the papers, and then it goes to vote. We don't vote on proposals. We're just here to steward the blockchain, and we're here to build software. That's what we do, and that's what we do really, really well. So we've had awesome support from Eric and Carter and Emery and a bunch of community members, whether it be Manta DAO or whether it be all kinds of just different community members in general. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of people, but it's not really up to me at the end of the day. I like to steward the ecosystem, but what I really focus on is just giving the ability for everyone to work together and just try to figure out the optimal solution for the protocol. What I am excited for in the new economics in general is commissions and referral commissions for users. So that means that every single community member with their RNS name can get just pretty much referral links, which is exciting. So if you get someone to purchase storage, or you have a business that you run or a business that you can think of that would benefit from the protocol and its storage from security posture standpoint, whether from its price point, just having redundancy in general to make sure that you're guarded from data disasters. With that, just a simple RNS code, if you implement that, then you get incentivized to do so. And I think that's awesome. The other thing that I'm really excited about this econ model is focusing on real yield and really kind of optimizing for that to make sure it's worked really, really well with Kujira. It's worked really, really well with a bunch of other protocols. And I think it would work well with Jackal as well. Overall, I think the econ paper is a definite proper move in the right direction, because I think the token economics were fundamentally broken for the stage that we're at right now. They were great when we started. It was great proof of concept. It was great to bootstrap validators and storage providers and an awesome community. But we're getting into the point where now we go from just kind of a little bit of a spark and a little flame to full-blown growth and trying to increase unique amount of terabytes, increasing unique amount of users, increase unique amount of storage providers. And for us to do that, we need to kind of optimize the protocol for that rather than optimize for something that's not really meant to be sustainable in the long run. And that's kind of just startups in general, right? If you look at almost every technology startup, they don't make money for years sometimes, right? And it's just kind of startup means growth at the end of the day, and blockchains are startups as well.
All right. So, question from a user on Discord named Wei. What are your plans? And you've already partially answered this one. So, what are your plans to give the token value for long-term sustainability? As I see the inflation is too high and reward for validators and delegators is 60% of the total inflation rate, which they will dump it to cover costs. And is there any marketing strategy? Because the idea of that the product will market itself doesn't work in crypto.
Yeah, no one's saying that it doesn't market itself. And what we really focus on is product-led sales is a big thing for us, and just having a really, really strong outreach team. We probably reached out to hundreds and hundreds of companies at this point, and we continue to do day over day. Even today, we've met with, I think, 6 different teams and looking for integrations and ways to build. So marketing is definitely one piece, and we've invested a lot in marketing. If you've seen our Coney Daddy videos, they're absolutely beautiful. They're quite a treat if you want to go back and see those. They're also on our YouTube channel if you want to check them out. And we have all kinds of wonderful marketing collateral. at the end of the day, marketing is one thing, but also making sure that you do the right things at the right time. So for us, delivering and bringing storage to other blockchains directly, we think that is a great rate, really good return on investment for our time to make sure that we grow unique terabytes and unique sales on the protocol. Other things that we focus on is B2B in Web 2 and using the API to bring data onto the protocol as well. Both of those in unison, we think that is our plan to win. That doesn't discount marketing at all. And we think that our community is great for marketing and we continue to invest in marketing, but it's kind of hard when we don't have access to our Twitter account right now, if I'm being honest with you, but we're trying our best.
All right. So, Microman, is Jackal going to pitch to store data sets for AI training with the computing provided by a cache and the AI backbone from the likes of Ori or Ocean Protocol?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We don't really choose how someone decides on their tech stack for their company, but we can influence is whether or not they want to use Jackal as a storage layer for that use case. Jackal is not a database, but is great for storing data sets, and it's for storing training data or having redundancy for training data or foundational models or whatever you want to store. So yeah, 100%, we would love to kind of have as many unique integrations as possible, and that's really what our focus is right now.
I'll put it right back to you, Bill. So I made a video today. We had to spin up an FTP, and I don't want to spin up an FTP, so we just use Jackal. Works a treat, man, but we had to share a seed phrase. I think it's an ideal consumer use case is basically using Jackal as a file transfer protocol. When the protocol first launched, the share feature was in there, but it's been removed. So two-part question here, Patrick. Is it possible to re-implement the share feature, or how long would it take you guys to basically spin up a Dropbox clone and just let us use Jackal protocol to do that?
Yeah, right now for that's probably something that's pretty high on our priority list right now for Aaron, who's kind of working on a front end integration side of things. So sharing works from the protocol already from the command line interface. It's just having like a proper dashboard for that and looking objectively at our team where we are weak and we're looking to strengthen our team is actually in the front end side of things. We're really, really awesome blockchain engineers from the low level infrastructure, but we get a little bit weaker when we start to look at dashboards and front ends. So we 100% are looking to have like a file sharing feature, whether that's peer-to-peer file transfers, whether that's e-signature platforms. We're really focusing on moving in that direction 100%. And it's a very, very important critical feature for any storage product, period, right? It turns Jackal from single player mode to multiplayer mode, and I think that's wonderful to see.
All right, carry on, Bill.
All right, J Side Project. Why the name Jackal?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, the year is 2021 November, and me and Marston are kind of sitting around in our old office where we used to work together for an intelligence company for law firms and doing digital forensics and things like that. We started working on something called Keepsake, which was an e-discovery tool. And then we started to realize that there's a really big gaping hole in the data storage space in Web3, and that we wanted to make sure that we build a product right there so we can actually like feed the need that we needed, right? So we were as entrepreneurs do, you try to ship as quickly as possible and you don't want to kind of dwell too much on the name. So we were looking at Egyptian gods and we were looking at owls at one point. Then we came across something called the Anubis, and the Anubis is this jackal-like statue that guards the tombs in Egypt. We thought Anubis was kind of a difficult name to kind of sell, so we went with Jackal. So that's kind of how we ended up with Jackal. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Cosmos Joe. Wait. Is Jackal actually going to sell something to a customer? How will the powers that be react to this kind of precise, profitable roadmap?
Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense. Actually, we should go back to max inflation and just print tokens, and then and then we'll just become direct competitors with Zeph, and that's our business plan moving forward.
You know what? Let me stop you there. If you do that, if you do exactly that, we're going to have an unpleasant conversation, brother. But we can do it now. If we can do it live, man. Look, we got a good audience. Do we want to act this out here, or do we just want to let the process happen?
Don't make me come to Canada, Patrick. I will come to Canada and
Yeah,
slap you
it's
upside the head.
we came to blockchain technology not because we wanted to build on blockchain technologies, because it was fundamental for the product that we wanted to build. And using a blockchain as a data storage permission system is probably one of the highest security postures possible. And it also just unlocks all kinds of wonderful use cases for self-custodial nature, self-sovereignty, clear forensics environments, and just unlocking all the idle storage capacity in the world, and bringing that to a scalable public cloud environment where you have full control, full ownership, and full privacy. It's pretty special stuff.
Microman, how is Jackal going to work with providers of files to subscribers? Perhaps in a place that is only for fans, perhaps by providing a means to hash a password or seed phrase for multiple user access.
I can't see the comments exactly, so I'm trying to rephrase that in my brain. I'm going to say it back to you, Bell, and you gotta let me know if I'm on the right place, okay? So what he's asking, for multiple users within the same organization, how do we manage file permissions? Is that the question?
Yeah, but providing means to type in a password or seed phrase for multiple user access.
Yeah, so there's a few questions in here. So the first question is, how do we manage multiple users on the same storage account? So you pretty much the way that Jackal works is we have this thing, it's a blockchain module called a file tree. And we custom built this for Jackal. And what it does is it creates this tree on the blockchain itself, and it's all encrypted so no one can read like the names of your files and things like that. But what it does is, there's a root folder that has master permissions over everything, right? As you go down the file tree, you can actually change permissions for each folder. So each employee can have their own folder and they can have permissions down, or you can revoke access to them at any time if you have the root folder, right? So that's kind of how we do that. For people that wanted to use username and password, and they want to sacrifice the self-custody and the decentralized nature and everything that we not the decentralized nature, but more the self-custody and the ownership and self-sovereignty side of things with the public and private keys. We understand that it's a difficult user experience. We understand it's not perfect, and it's very, very hard for my mom or my grandmother to onboard to Jackal. She doesn't have a Coinbase account or know how to use Osmosis. If she hit the Osmosis front end, she'd probably be very confused, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, for that use case, we have an API and we have Stratus that we just launched. So using Stratus API, you can build other things on top of that, whether you want a dashboard that's custom built for a specific use case and you want people to log in with username and password. I know Scott's working on something called a Muse, where it's an iPhone or Android. I'm not really
Android
sure.
right now.
It's an Android app where you can log in with username and password, and you don't have to deal with the craziness of managing blockchain wallets. So there's there's multiple ways to like skin a cat here. It just really depends on the specific use case and how much of a security posture you want and how much of self-sovereignty you want as well.
Microman throwing out a comment about the live read you did. I think the live read should have a guest spot. Will work for Jackal.
No, I don't think we need a guest spot up there, man. I want to make people uncomfortable here. It's funny, all right? There's not a lot of entertainment here in the blockchain world, so we try to change it up just a little bit. Carry on, Bill.
All right, G Torres, how many Jackal per day are minted by storage providers daily?
Yeah, so storage providers aren't incentivized. We did a chain upgrade because the storage providers were over incentivized and it was hurting the protocol as a whole. So with that upgrade, storage providers are now incentivized by the foundation for now. With this next economics upgrade, it's going to be automated again, and it's going to be more of a real yield model paired with a storage stipend. It's in the econ paper if you want to go read that. But right now, storage providers are incentivized by the foundation, so that's coming out of the foundation's pocket to keep the network running. And right now, for every block, so every 6 seconds, 6 tokens are minted, and that's distributed relative to stake. So if you're staking on validators, you're getting 100% of the inflation right now, and it's just 6 tokens per block.
Hey, Cosmos Joe, do you have any integrations with oracles or indexers? I've been looking at the graph, and I know they serve Cosmos.
Yeah, so the graph and Jackal do fundamentally different things. Jackal's use case when you want to talk about blockchain data is storing chain state would be one thing. We've been talking with a team called Kive as well, where they kind of have an entire L1 focused on chain state and kind of having public data goods. And we've been working a lot with integrating with them and providing a solution to them so that we can kind of have a partnership and tackle that specific area of having access to chain data. The graph is a GraphQL server, so it's more of kind of like a database. Jackal's not really a database; it's bucket storage. So they're fundamentally different things, but they both do really cool stuff. And we could do integrations with them if they need integrations with us. We know the guys at Streaming Fast. We spoke with them kind of back in 2022, and they're actually Canadians as well. There's a lot of Canadians in the blockchain space. We got Informal Systems, we got Streaming Fast, we got the guys at Dapper Labs, all those good guys. So yeah, no, we should definitely reach out again. Yeah, thanks for keeping my memory and that we have those contacts.
All right, stand by just a sec.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Stand by just a second, guys. You know, we structure this. All right, we structure this because we are the ESPN of Cosmos. And the ESPN always takes breaks. So if you guys could, I'm not going to do another silly live read right here. Give us 60 seconds so I can refill my booze, and we'll be right back. Keep the questions coming. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. And because somebody texted me and asked tonight, our choice, our bourbon of choice is Maker's Mark Private Selection. This is the 2019, and these are like shockingly expensive. But if you appreciate a quality buzz, and you can judge the buzz by the amount of money you spent to get it, well worth it. That's all I'm putting it out there. Bell, please carry on.
All right. So, Jack Sparrow, the ability to use the protocol to link Jackal with Ethereum would be huge, in my opinion. Is that a possibility?
Yeah. We've been looking. We have one person full time just working on blockchain to blockchain integrations right now and building outposts so people can just have access to all the wonderful. It's like having Jackal just locally on every blockchain, and just unlocking all kinds of different verticals and different apps and all kinds of different use cases, which is exciting to me. But the question that he asked specifically was Jackal and Ethereum. Two ways that we can do that right now that I know of. Way number one is using Evmos, and having an integration with Evmos. I think we're speaking with them later this week, actually, to kind of tease out what the art of the possible is there. Other ways, I know that Secret's also working on an EVM kind of integration there as well. That's interesting. And the third one is Union. It's a new team, new project where they're working on a kind of zero knowledge message passing between Cosmos and Ethereum. So all kinds of different ways that we can do this. It's just what comes first and who's ready for this integration first.
Badgerbite, can you talk about Stratus Cloud?
Yeah. So Stratus Cloud is a way for
Stratus. Well, listen to him. He said, "Can you talk about Stratus?" He said, he did this number. He said, "Oh yeah, I can." Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah. So Stratus is I don't know, Scott, you can probably pull it up if you can share your screen. But so Stratus is an API. It's a very simple API. It's copy, paste, integrate, and then just have your API credits, and you're going to go. So that use case is kind of bridging from Web3 to Web2. When we did a lot of interviews, and Jaden's probably listening right now, and Jaden's kind of just spearheading everything when it comes to doing interviews and trying to find unique use cases for the protocol. The number one thing that we heard is they don't really care about the self-sovereignty or using wallets or using crypto, but they love the geo-redundant nature of the protocol and having cryptographically verified storage that is verified every X amount of time. that's really great for them, and auto healing if a storage deal breaks or one provider goes down or the data center floods or Armageddon happens, aliens come down and pick up the data center and just screw off with it. The blockchain will realize and it'll move the storage deal and remake it with a new provider. That use case is really fascinating to a lot of dev shops and a lot of MSP providers. So that's something that they really requested, and we heard over and over again that people wanted API integrations. Also heard that from NFT marketplaces and other ecosystems, they want API integrations. So we built the API, and we have it on market. So if anyone's looking to integrate Jackal with the app that they're building, feel free to use it.
Yes, I showed Stratus. I showed the website. This is not hard to do. Go ahead, Bill.
All right. So next question coming in from J Side Project. In layman's terms, is it correct to assume that this project is like a paste bin of Web3?
Yeah, I like to think of it more of an AWS of Web3, kind of like an S3 of Web3 is one really good way to put it. Or Dropbox of S3 or Pastebin of S3. It's Jackal does one thing extremely well, and it's having geo-redundant data storage and delivering that to users, businesses, protocols, all that good stuff. Yeah, so that's really definitely one way to put it. Pastebin doesn't have, I'm not really that big of a user of Pastebin, if I'm being honest with you, but I don't know if it has the same like privacy and security posture as Jackal does. I don't think anything has the same privacy and security posture. If my Twitter was running on Jackal, then this would have never happened. But yeah, it's at the end of the day.
I'm not familiar with Pastebin, man. Is that hot storage or is that cold storage?
Pastebin is like a publishing platform, I believe. Last time I was on Pastebin, I was working in threat intelligence, and people would like use it to post data breaches. Basically, that was the last time that I was on it.
So we talking like a forum or what?
Yeah, you can pull it up, I'm sure.
No, I'm not that curious. I'm just asking if you're familiar with it.
I think it's a publishing platform, more or less, a way for people to just like share things with other users. But Jackal has programmable privacy and end-to-end encryption, so it's more of a private storage solution. But other great thing about Jackal is if you don't want privacy, you can kind of post public files, and you can publish things and host static websites and host photos and things like that. You just need the links. And we have another app called Radiant that's going to be coming out to do that as well.
All right. Amadeo with a kind of silly question. Can I put an angel on the top of my file tree for Christmas? Will Santa put presents underneath it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Santa's real.
Hey, hey! Now I gotta cut that out. And you asked, why do I have a stream delay? Why do I delay it so that I can take comments like that out, dude?
I got to. My dog heard, so I might be in trouble now. My girlfriend's gonna get mad at me. But yeah, I hopefully that would be cool.
Hopefully that'll be cool. Don't you own the damn thing? Aren't you the CEO? Can't you say this is what I would choose to do with this now? Or what's going on over there, dude?
Wait, what are you talking? I thought was the question if I put an angel on my tree, would presents arrive? Is he talking about like what, airdrops?
No, he said make the front end more fun.
Tree.
He said make it more fun.
Oh, okay. That's different. That's different. Yeah, making the front end more fun. That's 100% a focus of ours. For us right now, that's where we're weakest on the Jackal development team, is actually the front end and integration side of things. There's only one person working on it when we have 9 to 14 full-time employees, including contractors. Sometimes we scale up and scale down depending on what we're working on. So yeah, we definitely need more support on the design and front end side of things, and it's definitely something that we're definitely aware of.
All right, JJG, when will you have Jackal compatible with Ledger?
That's a great question. So we've been working with not only the Ledger team, the people that did the Cosmos app, and we're trying to figure out what the issue is directly, because we have a very unique blockchain. And I don't know if you noticed, Squid Router, they also had their own issue recently with Ledger apps. Ledger apps are funky, and every blockchain is different, every SDK is different, and we have to kind of have our own integrations. I think we are on the right pace. I'm not the person that's working on it directly right now, and I'll reach out to Aaron after this and just try to get like a little bit of a status update, because Ledger is definitely important. Ledger works on Jackal for token staking, everything associated with the monetary value. But when we're talking about the storage of the files right now, you can't use Ledger, unfortunately, at this point. It's something we need. We're definitely aware of it, and it unlocks all kinds of other use cases, whether it's ransomware backups and having multi-signature wallets around root folders for board of directors and things like that. So it's really, really high up there on our priority list.
All right. Astrovault Eric, will we be able to share files with other wallets accounts to be able to enable a co-working environment?
Yeah, well, Scott does that right now. He has his own FTP thing going on. Yeah. Right now, Jackal's single player right now. We need to enable peer-to-peer transfer of files from multiplayer mode, and it works from the CLI. It doesn't work in the dashboard. So that's something that we need to kind of focus on right now, or even build its own unique suite. If you want to use Jackal and you don't, you want to leverage the geo-redundant nature of it, then you can use the API and build a dashboard as well. That's the beautiful thing about building is Web3 is wonderful because it's not only infinite white space for building cool stuff, but it's also when you work on the low level infrastructure of things, there's a bajillion things that we could do. So it's really trying to maximize the impact with our time. That's the big thing for us. So whether it's email, so we've been thinking about working on making email on chain. We've publishing is a big one, peer-to-peer transfer, e-signature platforms. Obviously, ledger integration is very, very important. All those different things. It's sky's the limit, and even Scott's working on. There's so many things to do. If everyone on this call was working on their own project, there would still be stuff to do. That's the beautiful thing about Jackal.
All right, Microman, I know someone whose business is building websites for retail customers. I think Jackal would be useful for him, but I'm having trouble selling it. What advice would you have?
Yeah, put him in contact with Jaden, or reach out to us and we can have a chat and we can kind of give you the strategies that we use when we're dealing with B2B and Web2, because the value proposition of Jackal for the Web2 people isn't really the blockchain or the security posture. It's often the geo redundancy with no egress and ingress charges. That is the killer use case of Jackal for them, because what's a good way to put this? When you're selling to business in Web3, it's actually very easy because we don't have to spend all this time closing this knowledge gap and educating about the technology. We say, hey, we do this. They say, okay, that's wonderful. How does it stack up against other things in the market? We explain that to them, and they're usually pretty good to go at that point, right? Because they already understand the value propositions of blockchain technology and why it's important. For doing business in Web2, it's a little bit different, where if we get through an entire pitch and we don't mention blockchain or ledger technology, usually it's a good thing, actually, believe it or not, for that specific space. They don't understand blockchain, and we could spend the entire call explaining blockchain to them and they still wouldn't understand blockchain. So it's really focusing on the value proposition and what pain points are we solving in their business, rather than kind of focus on selling just different aspects or different features. Like feature selling doesn't really work for us. It's more of just actually like we want to sell pain points, not pain pills, not vitamins. You know what I mean?
Okay, and I'll give it back over to you, Bill. I got a question for you, Patrick. While you were having your conversation, I went to the Jackal dashboard. I uploaded a video. I played the video from the Jackal dashboard, and then I downloaded the video. Now, all of this took approximately 90 seconds. Are you familiar with your competitors? Are you deeply involved with your competition here in the Web3 space? Can you speak intelligently about Filecoin, Arweave, Saya, so forth and so on?
Yeah, I can speak really intelligently about all of them, and they all do awesome stuff.
Excellent. Then that segues me into my question wonderfully. Which of your competitors can do what I just did on your platform in 90 seconds? Upload a 150 megabyte video, play it from the platform, and then download it. Who else can do that?
Including centralized middleware or no centralized middleware?
No, I didn't use any centralized middleware. I used your dashboard, so I didn't use anybody. Who can do what I just did?
That would right now in the current market, I think that would just be us. Right now with those speeds, if you're looking for something that is kind of like a Web 2.5 product where they have a middleware that kind of gives you that speed, Then you start getting into like storage territory, or greenfield, B&B greenfield territory. If you want cold storage where you just kind of put files to rest for a long time without privacy, and you want to kind of have a use case like that, Filecoin would be a good use case, and they're really great at what they do. Everyone in the space is really good at what they do, if I'm being honest with you, Scott. But we all just do very different things, and we serve different use cases. There's a lot of space for all of us, if I'm being honest with you.
And there is, man. I just want you to say it. All right. Nobody can do what I just did on Jackal dashboard with no middleware, no KYC, no anything. There is not a single competitor in the Web3 space that can do what I just did. Nobody. And I've tried all of them. I just want you to say nobody can do what you just did, Scott. Go ahead and say that.
No, you're 100% right. No one can do what you just said. At the end of the day, it's we are the people that are focusing on self-custodial hot storage with really high security and privacy postures, which you're done data storage on a proof of stake blockchain. No one else is doing that right now. No one's working on Cosmos SDK for this use case. No one is using IPC, and that's where we've carved out our own niche in the market. Filecoin's great for archiving. Arweave is great for archiving and perpetual storage. But if you're looking for a very performant hot storage environment with a high security posture, Jackal is the place that you want to be.
Beautiful. Thank you. Bell, carry on.
All right. So Brownsburg, is the Praetor push button stand up of a storage provider available?
That's a good question.
I remember that, dude. That was a long time ago. They were talking that up. You remember that? That was like a year ago.
We got to reach back out to them. Like it's like pretty much done. Last time that we spoke with them, I think it got put on the back burner, and it's hard right now in Web3. There's a lot of teams that are just kind of dropping off the map a little bit, and validators are shutting down, and it's getting pretty dark. And I think it's kind of time for the markets, or I don't really comment on price, but it seems a lot brighter in the ecosystems recently. I've seen influencers coming around again that I haven't seen since 2021. So
influencers, dude.
No, they just like pop up like mushrooms all of a sudden. I don't know
they're like a virus, man. Suddenly they get a they exist on confirmation bias. They're gonna say whatever they have to say to get you to listen. So yeah,
I saw people come out of the woodwork. It was insane. But at the end of the day, that's it.
Okay,
carry on, Bell.
All right, Microman, are you pitching to companies or organizations needing zero knowledge proofs? For example, for ID or age verification, is that a capability, of Jackal?
Yeah, you can use ZKPs for all kinds of stuff. We were looking at using NARCs for kind of having a little bit more of a scalability boost, and we're probably still going to do that upgrade as well. Using ZKPs for identity verification and stuff like that. We can build an app like that on Jackal. I don't know what the current state of our ZKP technology, but again, the reason why we want to bring Jackal to places where builders are building through IBC and through Outposts directly is we can leverage all of that wonderful technology and all kinds of other different blockchains, whether it's Secret Network, whether it's Agoric, whether it's for JavaScript, whether it's Neutron for their alignment with the Cosmos Hub and focusing more on ICA. We can bridge over to Ethereum and find a place where they're using ZKP technology really, really well. That's the beautiful thing about Jackal is we can deliver on-chain storage solutions to anyone and everyone. That's the narrative, and that's the best thing about it.
Linson, if a big enterprise like Twitter tries Jackal and doesn't want to pay the bill like Twitter does, what happens then?
Well, that's the thing about blockchain technology and why it's wonderful. The validators will enforce the rules of the code.
Yep.
The code says if you stop paying and you don't renew your account within 30 days, no storage for you.
Out you go. Just like that.
That's kind of how it functions. If you use things like the Stratus API, there's a little bit more SLAs. But if you want to use the protocol like organically and where it's kind of like unlock all different use cases and have that cybersecurity posture, all that good stuff. The code's the law and it's all open source. So pretty much if you pay for a storage account and you don't renew a storage account or yeah, you have 30 days after it dies to renew it. And then if you don't pay, then the validators will burn all the storage deals and then bye-bye.
All right,
That is
and I'll turn it back over to you, Bell. But I got another question because we get this a lot. I see it a lot over here. For some reason, people come to our Discord for Jackal questions. As much as I
really
appreciate, oh yeah, dude,
Jackal support.
we
Yeah,
send them your
free
way, man.
Jackal support.
We're
Awesome.
Jackal support. People ask constantly, man, what happens if a server goes down? Now, nobody's asked that tonight, so either everybody out here knows precisely what happens if a storage provider disappears because they can pull the plug at any time, but nobody's asked that. Now, I think that this is one of the most critical elements of this particular protocol. Nobody's asked the question. And Patrick, what happens if the podcast decides to pull the plug on every one of our servers right now?
Just time out, Scott. I actually have it for you here.
What do you, dude? I'm looking at a dead screen here, man. This is this has never happened, guys. You've been with us for a long time. You know, nobody's walked off the show before.
It's on the shirt actually. So we have the Jackal Proof of Persistence protocol. You can buy the shirt if you want to support it. But
no, I want you to send me the shirt. I want you to send me one.
I'll send you this one.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
But it's the Jackal Proof of Persistence.
Okay, well, go ahead and explain it, man.
Yeah, so the Jackal Proof of Persistence protocol is a way for the validators and the storage providers to communicate to make sure that there's always 3 forms of full redundancy on the protocol at a given time. So the reason why we use 3x redundancy is for this exact situation. So pretty much every single file on the network every 3 hours submits a cryptographic proof to each other through something called a consensus sphere. And then from the result of that consensus sphere, it submits an attestation to the blockchain. So I just said a lot of big words, but just to dumb it down, the storage providers amongst themselves kind of make sure that everyone's doing the good job. And they submit attestations to the blockchain directly to prove that they continue to store files. In the event that someone misses an attestation to the blockchain for a specific file, then that storage deal will be broken. And then what will happen from there is a new storage deal will be made with another provider. We call it the burn pile of all the burned contracts, and all the storage providers on the network strafe the burn pile at every given moment, and then they pick up new storage deals and they rebind the contract because it's in their best interest to store as much data as possible. So yeah, there will always be 3 times redundancy of your files on the network, and that's kind of how it functions.
Beautiful. Carry on, Bell.
Badger Bite, given recent events, do you plan on some YubiKeys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ouch. Dude.
Yeah, I need some YubiKeys. I'm going to have like 12-factor authentication at this point. It's pretty crazy. It's 100%. I'm dumbfounded by the Twitter support, though. It's pretty nuts. It's been 7 days and we've notified them. Nothing. So we've had to do is we found sessions that we have through third-party apps to kind of post so we can post again, but we can't delete posts, which is frustrating. So Barachain went through this, Yumi's going through this, all kinds of L1. It seems like every blockchain company is being targeted this way. And the SIM swap, it's really. The other thing is that it's not just about having another form of authentication. It's about removing the 2FA with the phone, which is like this other, like, it's like, which 2FA do you want to use to access this session? It's insane. I thought it was like an AND function, not an OR function. I think I said that early in the podcast though. Yeah, so I'm going to need some YubiKeys. I hope Twitter support gets a lot better, but it took Barachain about a month to get their account back. So.
Oh, we got a month. You know what? We got a month of memes, dude. All right, funny is funny. Yeah, entertainment. Let's keep it going.
He's just shit posting on my Twitter account. That's awesome.
I know, it is great. Carry on, Bell.
All right. So regarding the shirt you just showed, Patrick, where we want merch from Microman.
You want merch? It's merch.jackalprotocol.com. There we go. I can give it to you, Scott.
I'll pull it up, dude. I can type merch.jackalprotocol.com. That what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
JACKALPROTO protocol.com. Yeah, nothing's coming up.
That's
Nothing's coming up. It's not coming up. It's look, this is what I got. This is what I got.
it yet.
Merch.jackalprotocol.com. Send it to me in Discord. Carry on, Bill.
All right, Badger Bite. Are there still plans for more than 3 times the file redundancy on the chain? I remember 30 being mentioned at one time.
Yeah, so that's something a little bit different. So that's kind of like more of a sharding technique where you can use math in really cool ways. So basically this is actually this is something that storage uses, which is the one thing that we really do respect them for, is they have this function where they well, they don't really like have verifications after that. They kind of just like hope that all the providers stay up, and that's the model works for them. They haven't had any issues, I don't think, that I've heard of at least. So that's great. But basically you can take a file, you can shard it into 30 pieces. So instead of like 3 full file redundancy, you can have like 30 chunks of file, and then you blast it out into the network, and then everyone gets a little chunk. At that point, the cool thing is this also kind of acts as a content delivery network. So it's almost kind of like a CDN. Which is cool in its own right, because for you to rebuild the file, it's like the first 10 pieces that arrive to you, then you can build that file back up. So it's a little bit, it's really, really cool from a CDN perspective. That was we still have that in the pipeline. We had an awesome co-op student named Max, and Max was he's a math major, and he's quite the brain. He's a total whiz, and he was working on that hardcore math stuff and optimizations of all of our algorithms and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely still in the pipeline. I don't think it's going to be in this upgrade though. It might be in the next one.
Dude,
and last question.
I'll let him get to it. I got to ping Patrick. You don't take Cosmos Pay, dude? I'm looking at your merch store here, man, and there's no Cosmos Pay pay option. You don't take Cosmos Pay? What the hell? Don't you support the Cosmos? Don't you love blockchain?
So for me, Scott, I wanted to ship this as quickly as possible. I didn't want to think too much about it because we're kind of in the middle of shipping, but I should definitely have some better integrations. And I know that this is a Shopify store. I'm a Canadian. I'm in Ottawa, and that's the home of Shopify. So I had to.
Oh, it doesn't work on Shopify, dude. You're gonna have to change stores if you want to use Cosmos Pay.
I had to give Shopify some love, but I think they do have plugins though for blockchain tech, but it might be ETH based or MetaMask based.
We don't want that. We want Cosmos Pay. All right, Bicana, big supporter, man. They made a pay rail. All you have to do is integrate it. Come on, man.
All right.
People helping people here. Let's get this done.
We'll reach out to them for sure. That sounds
okay. Carry on, Bill.
All right, last question coming in from Deep House Nation before we get to the comment that Patrick, you and I are both going to address. So Deep House Nation asking, any major concerns about issues with evolving and developing government regulation oversight? So government and education institutions could also use your service.
Oh, how sweet would that be?
So government oversight, we want to be compliant. We think that our product is great, and it has all kinds of different use cases and can benefit traditional markets. It's kind of hard for us to be compliant because there's no rules. So it's kind of just, it's regulation by enforcement right now. Luckily, we're not a money transfer anything, or we're not really a finance application. We use a blockchain as a data storage permission system. So we're probably going to be the last to be regulated because we have the least amount of impact when it comes to financial markets or terrorist funding or stuff like that, and all the hot button topics. We're just data storage with a really secure backend. That's it. And we have this wonderful system that we built where we have a bunch of Excel spreadsheets on computers all around the world arguing with each other and determining all your storage is safe. So that's kind of what we built. So it's not too much money transfer issues for us.
All right. And now the comment that I've been saving for last. Ambadeo earlier said, Bella looks and speaks like a Jackal dev tonight. New Jackal intern in the making.
Yeah, you want to be a Jackal intern? Well, you can. We're actually the position for Jackal intern is already full. They're using my Twitter right now. So
that is. Oh, wait a minute! Wait, a round of applause. Thank you. He's a funny guy, man. Don't let the Canadian fool you. All right, he's a funny guy. Go.
Yeah, we have a free intern. So to be the Jackal intern, you just have to hack our Twitter account, apparently. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all of your devs look freaking exhausted. Do I look tired tonight? Is that where that came from?
Our devs are definitely always exhausted, but don't listen to the comments. Don't listen to them.
All right. Well, that was it for tonight, guys.
All right, Patrick, we're going to turn it over to you, sir. You got as much time as you want. Talk it up, talk it out. Be special. Tell people how cool it is and why this is not a terrible place to park your speculative investment money. Eric, I'm sorry, Eric. Eric's been on with us a lot, dude. Patrick, come on, dazzle us.
Well, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know anything about parking anything anywhere. I don't really trade myself. Actually, I just build software. But when it comes to Jackal, what we want to do and what our focus is building the best product possible using blockchain technology and all the benefits that we know to be true with that technology, right? At the end of the day, we're looking to build the best product possible, and that is by delivering data storage to all the blockchains and all kinds of different businesses and Web2 as well. So that's our big focus. If you want to be along for the ride, come on, give us a follow on Jackal Labs at Twitter. Or join the Discord, hop in the Telegram, and we would love to have you in the community. It's an exciting time to be building in crypto. You can hear my dog in the background as well. Do you want to meet my puppy at the end of the show?
Yes, grab the dog. Go ahead and grab the dog. I'll do my outro and I'll come back to you. Yeah. So yeah, Patrick can't talk about it. I do, because this is, believe it or not, an investment channel, because I'm an investor. This is what I do, guys. This is all I do. All right. I look for undervalued assets. I purchase them until they get to their current valuation. Now, I don't think Jackal's anywhere near that, man, because you guys have to. I've been working in the data storage industry for 25 years. This is all I've ever done, is work in the data storage industry. Now, whether it be at Microsoft or Amazon Web Services or Google or Facebook, I work in all of them. So I know what it is. I know what the infrastructure costs. I know what it takes to be able to pull this off. So to be able to have a product that has all of those features, which it does, you just saw it. It's not like I didn't make it up. You watched me do it live. So to have a Web3 product that offers all of those benefits without the cost, meaning the ingress or egress costs and the blanket $42 a month that you're going to pay for a terabyte of storage at Amazon Web Services, it's 100% a slam dunk for me. It's just a matter of time, all right? This is a crypto in name only, meaning that this thing is going to gain value as people use it, as it gets out, as it expands its market reach, its market cap, and all of that. That's where the real value is. Data storage is a $300 billion a year industry and only growing. So it's not like you're pouring into some kind of just dreadful speculative, we hope people buy it and hold it. It's not that, all right? This is something that goes up in value based on usage. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm always looking for. That's why I'm in this. That's why I'm staying in this. I ain't going anywhere. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to kill it. They're going to just make they're going to make me a lot of money when they do it. But again, not financial advice. I only talk about what I do with my own money. And I'm a big fan of what they're doing. I love the tech. I utilize the tech. We're building apps using the tech because that's it. The only thing that they're really missing here is a consumer-focused app, and we're building that. Should be out by the end of the month. So keep an eye out on that. It's called Amuse. You can put it on your phone, swipe files into it. They end up on Jackal Storage. You get all of the features without having to go through all the hoops. I think that's the way forward, and that's why we're doing it. Patrick, do I got you back? You got that? There it is. Okay, there's Patrick with the dog.
Yeah, you want to see my puppy? This is my little dog. She was scratching at the door the whole interview, and I was starting to feel bad because she was being neglected. But
you could have held her the whole time.
Her name's Coda.
Where did the name come from?
After Codex. I wanted a boy dog, but my partner wanted a girl dog. So yeah.
So you got a girl dog and you named it Codex. Dude, you're just like a total geek, aren't you? I mean, all the way down, aren't you?
I named her Coda. Look how cute she is. Come on, Spot.
Oh no, I'm a dog guy, dude. I mean, Harvey's been on the stream. My Bella dog has been on the stream. I'm a huge fan. All right, put the dog away, dude. Talk it out, man. You got the screen. It's all you.
Yeah, well, I thought we already did this, but
no, we're doing it again, man, because now you're mellow. You held the dog. It calms you down, gives you a chance to talk. Go.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're here to build the best storage infrastructure possible. And we think that's by using blockchain technology as the backend for data permissions and having a decentralized storage network to make sure that we unlock all the idle storage space in the world and really have high security and privacy postures. So that's what we're building. If you want to be along for the ride, hop in the Telegram, hop in the Discord, and follow the Twitter if you want to see whatever is on our Twitter right now. But at the end of the day, we're just here to build the best product possible, and we're really excited.
Beautiful. Belle, talk us up. Take us out.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot thank you guys enough for joining us this evening. Since it is a holiday week, we are not planning on going live on Thursday, and we're definitely not going live on Saturday this coming week. In between now and next Tuesday, if you guys have any further comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to shoot Scott or myself an email, scott@thepodcast.com or bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. If you've got any for Patrick, we'll get those over to him as well so he can get you an answer. Again, we cannot thank you guys enough. We absolutely appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving, guys, and we'll see you next week.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.